Hello, my name is Ollie Picknott, and this is a quick video to summarise the Jumpstarting Literacy and Numeracy workshop for Dame Kelly Holmes mentors. This workshop was to give world-class athletes a new perspective on how to use their innate strengths to improve their literacy and numeracy. The empowering learning message is, if you can picture your sporting experiences and succeed as an athlete, you will be able to picture words, a vital skill for literacy, with just a few minutes tuition. The same is true for other academic skills such as numeracy, comprehension, memory, etc. If you've not developed these skills, this is when learning differences surface as learning difficulties such as dyslexia, dyscalculia and ADHD. You will learn about these transferable skills. It will help you accelerate your successful transition, help your mentees achieve their goals, and even improve your sporting performances. This programme for the Dame Kelly Holmes Trust reflects the skills of world-class athletes, but there is something missing from this t-shirt. You can add their exceptional ability to visualise and create mental images to aid their performance. Initially, attendees talked about visualising success and celebrations, but then we inquired about the mental images that guided them through an event, the processes you go through when competing on a runway, the track, in a diving pool, when kicking a goal, etc. They weren't as clear and could be muddled with other information not required when competing. Add to this the teamwork, having a growth mindset, looking for incremental improvements, and a can-do attitude, then it is clear that athletes have many more strengths. The athletes all discuss their own experiences with mental images. In summary, the target sports such as football, rugby and basketball discuss seeing the net move before you shoot and rehearsing the flight of the rugby ball or the basketball. The high-speed athletes such as BMX and extreme skating discussed how they needed to get calm and focused at the start, and that is so important, and how they use mental images for creating and performing freestyle tricks. Then the sports that sort of outsmart their opponents like chess, taekwondo and badminton, etc. They could see several moves ahead and needed to keep control of their images to not race too far ahead and panic themselves. So how do you achieve sporting focus and keep those mental images under conscious control rather than the images controlling you? Some athletes have been given some training in this, but not to the depth we covered in the workshop. The target is a relaxed body and an alert mind. There are many ways to achieve this, but we focus on something called grounding, being centered or fully in your body. The success criteria is being able to create that state in seconds with no external intervention. So the athletes learned how to get grounded in seconds with the help of guided imagery, balanced breathing, hydration and grounded food. Many were startled at how much these very simple techniques might be able to help them improve their own sporting performance. They also realised that they seldom transferred these skills into an environment outside of sport, and they were in the opposite state when they were being challenged by tasks such as literacy and numeracy. They were in extreme stress and had poor memory. Note that poor memory is often the direct result of stress. So the question is, what if you could change your experience of literacy using your natural strengths for mental imagery with just a little practice? This was a thought that no one had considered, but they were about to learn. First, you need to discover the detailed qualities of your mental images, known to some as mental geography, then align them with the best place for literacy. So here goes. So picture a zebra, become aware of it. Where is it? Make it somewhere convenient. Its size and distance from you, make it visible and about 3 to 5 feet ideally away from you. Whether it is in colour or black and white, this doesn't really matter, and even cartoons will do. Is it still or is it moving? This is really important. Grounding will help you control moving pictures to make them still. Is it one image or more? If multiple, try grounding or turning off some of the TV sets. Are all the TV sets of the same thing? Where are your eyes looking? Are they up to the left or right is best? What are the surroundings? Or is it a single animal? You can choose. Some of these needed working on to put them into your personal control. So let's look at the jump-starting approach to literacy. Schools are teaching meaning and sounds of words and the parts of the words, but that isn't the whole story. You need an effective learning state and the picture of the words as whole words to fit the small parts or phonemes into. How else would you know how to do silent letters like homophones, weird spellings of something like 50% of English words that are not spelt phonetically correctly? You need controllable mental images is the missing link. We started using mental images for words. It is clear that people are challenged by literacy if they don't visualise words. Every word they see is a new word and sometimes better for reading than spelling. The word form area is in the occipital temporal region of your brain. You can see this in the picture. And athletes already have strong mental images in their occipital lobe for pictures and a growth mindset focused on step-by-step improvements, which is great. This makes adding words to their mental images a straightforward process. We worked with the mentors to develop their skills, first for picture words, then for words that have no obvious pictures, and they all developed their skills quickly and to their surprise. So what if you could change your experience of reading in minutes using your strengths and talents? Now that the mentors could visualise words, we covered some really quick wins to improve reading, becoming aware of key elements that affect your reading skills. You need to be able to recognise words. This is known as rapid automatic naming, and not continuously rebuild each word from phonemes. So as you build up your spelling directory, then you will also build up your reading word directory. And there's lots of other skills covered by Empowering Learning. We discussed improving some of these skills through mental imagery, such as memory, comprehension, summarising, and mental arithmetic. At this point, all the mentors reported improved skills that were easy to develop and made literacy and numeracy a much more achievable skill. Metacognition enables you to understand how you do what you do and is a vital skill for any coach, getting you to understand how you do what you do and how you can do it better. This highlights a fundamental difference between teaching and learning. So we have teaching on the left-hand side here, and we have learning on the right-hand side here. We spent the rest of the day practicing our new skills and learning about the metacognition of why and how this approach works for people with excellent mental images, appreciating the neurodiversity of individual learning styles. The whole workshop focused on building on the mentor's strengths and making them readily transferable skills. Learning how we do what we do when we are successful is such a gift. We then looked at what the mentors could do with these new skills. What if there was a way to help your students overcome their learning challenges, not by focusing on their deficits and weaknesses, but by using their natural strengths and talents, and in a way that they could easily integrate into other programs? And how could the mentors inspire their students? Maybe see if the students have the skills for controlling mental imagery, and if not, get them started. Perhaps you could drop them a tip that people who are good at literacy can picture words for reading and spelling. I learned how to do this recently, and what your experience is. You could also say that people who are good at maths can picture numbers, and tell them how you learned how to do this and what a difference it made to you. Or if the mentors want to independently offer this service to schools and pupils, take the Empowering Learning Practitioner training that is just sessions of an hour and a half online teleseminars. The feedback we had from the workshop can best be summarised by the mentors themselves, who could see how to use their new skills for improving their sporting performance, their literacy and numeracy, and that of their students and family members. And quoting from their feedback, brilliant session and very interesting. Brilliant, really loved the neuroscience element. Brilliant insights and learnings, thank you. Great session, learnt so much, thank you. Excellent session with lots of good techniques for myself and others. Very interesting with many personal learning points and tools to use. We would like to hear your stories from the athletes and the mentors of how you get on developing your skills. So do use the hashtag Jumpstarting Literacy and do sign on to our website www.empoweringlearning.co.uk. Thank you.